In 1954, two scientists at McGill University did something that ended up explaining almost every bad habit you have. They put an electrode into a rat's brain, wired it to a small lever, and let the rat press it. That's it. Press the lever, get a tiny zap in the brain's reward center. It should have meant nothing. Instead, the rat pressed that lever again, and again, up to 7,000 times an hour. It stopped eating, stopped drinking, stopped sleeping. It pressed that lever until it physically collapsed from exhaustion, and the second it woke back up, it started pressing again. So here's the question that should actually bother you a little. Whatever chemical was flooding that rat's brain is the same one sitting in yours right now, deciding whether you finish this video or swipe away in the next 8 seconds. That chemical is dopamine, and almost everything you've heard about it is wrong. Chapter 1. What dopamine actually is. Most people think dopamine is the feel-good chemical. It's not. Dopamine is the times wanting times chemical. It's not pleasure, it's the craving that shows up before pleasure, sometimes instead of it. Here's the part almost nobody explains, right? Dopamine doesn't spike when you get a reward. It spikes when the outcome is times better than what your brain predicted. Your brain is running a constant background bet. What's about to happen and how good will it feel? And dopamine is the payout when reality beats the bet. Think about opening TikTok. You already know some videos will be good and some will be garbage. You don't know which one's coming next. That uncertainty is the entire engine. Every swipe is a tiny gamble, and every so often the app pays out a video funnier or weirder than you expected. That's the exact moment dopamine fires. Not this is fun, it's this is more than I thought I'd get. A slot machine, a loot box, and your notifications tab are all running the same code. Now compare that to opening a textbook. Your brain already has an accurate prediction. This is going to be slow, and the payoff is a grade 3 weeks from now. No surprise, no prediction error. Almost no dopamine. Not because studying is boring, because your brain already priced it in. Chapter 2. Dopamine tolerance. Here's where it gets worse. Your brain hates staying in any one state for too long, so it's constantly trying to pull itself back to a baseline, the same mechanism that makes you sweat when you're hot and shiver when you're cold. That's called homeostasis, and it applies to dopamine exactly the same way. If you flood your brain with fast, high-intensity dopamine hits every day, your brain assumes that's the new normal and adjusts. Literally, the number of dopamine receptors available to respond starts shrinking. Neuroscientists call it downregulation. Think of it like your phone screen auto-dimming in a bright room. Once your eyes adjust to that brightness, a normal room looks dark by comparison, even though nothing about the room changed. Your baseline just moved. That's exactly what's happening when a 2-hour movie feels unbearable, but a 15-second video doesn't. It's not that your attention span broke. Your dopamine system recalibrated to a fire hose, and now anything slower than a fire hose reads as boring. It's also why you can doom scroll for 3 hours and still feel restless and empty afterward. You got plenty of spikes. You just never got the follow-through that used to come with them. Chapter 3. Dopamine detox. So how do you actually fix this? The phrase dopamine detox gets thrown around constantly, and most explanations of it are wrong. You're not detoxing times from times dopamine. You physically can't, you die. What you're actually doing is giving your dopamine receptors room to grow back. Give it anywhere from a few days to 2 weeks of cutting the high intensity stuff, and your brain starts upregulating again, becoming sensitive to smaller, slower rewards. The boring stuff starts registering as satisfying again, because your baseline dropped back down. There are 2 versions. The full version, pick one day, cut your phone, social media, games, junk food, all of it, and let yourself sit in actual boredom. Walk, journal, think. It's uncomfortable on purpose. The lighter version, identify your single biggest offender, the thing you reach for out of habit more than actual desire, and cut just that one thing for a week. Either way, expect the first 2 or 3 days to feel restless, maybe irritable. That's not you failing. That's your receptor count physically adjusting. Most people quit right before it gets easier, which is exactly the wrong moment to quit. Chapter 4. The reward system. Once your baseline resets, the real work is building a system so it doesn't creep back up. And here's the part that changes everything. Order matters more than willpower. If you scroll first thing in the morning, you've just told your brain what a real reward feels like, and everything after that has to compete with it. It won't win. Flip the order. Do the harder thing first, even for 10 minutes, and let the easy dopamine be the reward waiting on the other side, not the appetizer. Your brain also runs on something psychologists call temporal discounting. It undervalues rewards that are far away. A grade in 3 weeks feels almost worthless to your brain compared to a notification right now. So shrink the gap yourself. Study for 25 minutes, then take 15 minutes of whatever you want, guilt-free. You're not depriving yourself of anything. You're just moving your phone to the end of the line instead of the front of it. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. Dopamine was never the enemy. It's the reason you're capable of wanting anything at all. A better body, a better grade, a better life. You were never missing a reward system. You just let an app design it for you instead of designing it yourself. So before you close this out, what's your lever? What's the one thing you reach for on autopilot that gives you a hit but never actually satisfies you? You don't have to quit it forever. Just take it off autopilot for 7 days and watch what happens to everything else. Because somewhere underneath the scrolling, the streaks, and the notifications, there's a version of you that still wants to do hard things. You just have to stop drowning them out. If this made you see your phone a little differently, that's exactly what it's for. Hit like. It actually tells YouTube to put this in front of more people who need it. See you in the next one.